Hello and welcome back to the OCP, the original Copycats podcast. Now, it's just me today. Hello. Don't hate me. You've probably already seen by the title of this episode, but I've changed my mind. I'm not doing embarrassing moments today. I am doing something else instead. I'm sorry if people were looking forward to that, but fuck yeah, it's my podcast, and Josh is obviously, I should probably say that. Yeah, so we're doing what I want to do, which is... Oh, I'll get onto that in a minute. But, so, I was thinking of doing the embarrassing moments, and I thought, you know what? I'd rather do it when I've got somebody that can actually sort of react to what's going on. So when we go through the Reddit and stuff like that, Josh is here, and he can contribute his wheeze. You're more than a wheeze to me, Josh. You are the love of my life. Oh dear. Anyway, so next week, keep your earing for Reverse Words 3. Now, I'm looking forward to this because they are such banging episodes. They are so funny. I don't know whether anyone else thinks they're funny, but I think they're funny. And yeah, Reverse Words 3. I think it's song lyrics this time, if I have that right. Dave, you're probably listening, so thanks, Dave, for all the hard work you're putting in there creating the reverse words. So yeah, looking forward to that. But before I jump into this episode, I would just like to say that we have a few socials that I'd love for you to go and follow us on. We are most active on Instagram, which we post quite a few times on there, but we could do more. But yeah, go and follow us on that. It is _OCP on there, right? That is our sort of main hub for interaction. But I would like to just say now that we have created a Reddit, ladies and gentlemen, and I am very, very excited to announce that, because I don't know why I haven't thought of it before, to be honest. It seems like a bit of an obvious decision now for trying to form a community, which is what we want to do. We're trying on Instagram, but yeah, it's easier said than done. So yeah, what we're thinking is, if we can create this Reddit and get it up and running and all that, you lot, right? You lot listen. Yes, I'm talking to you specifically that are listening right now. We really, really want you to join in and become part of our little family. Yeah, that sounds nice, doesn't it? Yeah, you can be like the weird cousin that no one talks about. But yeah, if you're listening, just go over there. Give us a little follow. Give us a sub or whatever you call it on Reddit. I'm not too sure, but yeah, go and do that. Join in. Give us some feedback. Post and stuff. We want to see you there. It'd be great. Yeah, so and most importantly, we just want you to have fun, because actually one of the rules on the Reddit is don't be a cunt. So yeah. Anyway, talking about being cunts, today's episode is about petty revenge stories, and I saw this. Right? I saw a version of this on the Shits and Gigs podcast, and I thought it was really, really funny, so I'm stealing it. So yeah, get over yourself, mate. Anyway, so without further ado, we'll just jump straight in, shall we? Because I've got a list here, right? I've gone to boardpanda.com, where you go for all your important information, and we've got, and I'm not going to read all of these because fucking hell, but 309 petty revenge stories that show why you should never be an arsehole to other people. So we'll do a few. I'm not sure how many we'll do, but we'll do a few, like a handful or so. So the first one we've got here is fair length. It's not long, but it's not short. That's what she said. It says, I'm a manager. I'm bringing up this woman I have sold things to before. We are making small talk as I ring her up. Note, I'm a lesbian. That's still the story. Customer. I can't believe the president came out in support of gay marriage. Me. I know. Kind of unbelievable. Customer. That. Oh, I can't say that word. That. I'll just replace it with gay. That gay lover is going to burn in hell for that. Me biting my tongue. Okay. I finish ringing her up and hand the customer her bags. Customer. They should round up all the gays and put them down. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? All right then. Me. That would be bad for me, seeming as I am a lesbian. The woman turns pale and walks out without saying a word. A few hours later, I get a call from the manager of another one of our stores. On the line, I can hear the same customer I previously sold items to ranting. The manager, who's also a woman, says this. So, this woman is here wanting to exchange a bunch of stuff from your store. When I asked her what was wrong with the items, she said that you tainted them. I have no idea what she's talking about. Could you maybe clear this up for me? Me. Well, I bet it's because she found out I was gay. Manager. I see. Starts talking in a sultry voice. Well, I'll see you tonight for our... Oh, I see. I see what's going on here. I forgot the definition of sultry for a second there. Well, I'll see you tonight for our date. You should put on that... You should put on that black lace bra and panty set I got you for your birthday. I love you. Hangs up. I'm very confused, seeing as I had never dated that manager, nor did she ever get me any underwear, and as far as I know, she is not gay. Fast forward a few days later to the manager weekly conference call. Apparently, the customer left the other store after thinking the other manager was also gay. That manager then called every other store in the area and told everyone about the customer. Over the next few days, the customer went to every store in a 20-mile radius trying to exchange the tainted goods. Everyone she talked to pretended to be gay when working with her, and she left every time. To my knowledge, she never got her exchange. Good. Fuck that one. Fuck's sake. I mean, that does sound kind of like one of those r/that happened kind of posts, you know, like how often do people band together that much? But that just might be the cynic in me coming out. That's as far as I come to coming out, I suppose. Anyway, number 2. I was at the post office one day when an elderly lady in front of me asked for a single stamp. Obviously, considering this a waste of her time, the woman behind the counter made a snorting noise, rips off a stamp, and flicks it across the counter, where it lands on the floor. She doesn't apologize or offer the lady another stamp. The old lady considers for a second, picks up the stamp, and leaves her 50-cent piece on the floor in its place. She says a cheery, "Thank you," and walks out. And the woman behind the counter has to walk around to pick up the money. That's pretty class, to be fair, and that is a classic old lady move. No fucks given. I like it. Number 3. I was at a craft store in my town, and it wasn't too busy, but only one register was open. The cashier was a teenage girl, and I could tell that she was working as best as she could. The process was a tad slower, however, because she had a stutter and a bit of a lisp. As she worked through the line, asking the usual questions, probably mandated by the bigwigs, I've worked in retail, it's a thing, the man behind me began to huff and puff. He muttered something about having to go places. He was in a hurry, etc. I ignored him, until I heard him start to mock her to his kids. Oh, for fuck's sake. Really? The kids began to laugh. It really made my blood boil, especially as I could tell the cashier heard his mockery. That really made my... Yeah, you just said that. It says it really made my blood boil again. When a person doesn't respect retail employees as people, it's the best way to tell whether a person is an asshat or not. True. So when it was my turn at the register, she asked me in a small voice, "Are you a member of the rewards club?" And I looked smugly at the guy behind me and back at her. "The rewards club? Oh, that sounds great. Please explain it to me." She seemed surprised at first, but then looked at the guy behind me and it clicked. I have never given my information so slowly in my life. Never had I asked as many questions as I did. She smiled and answered my inquiries, while the guy behind me was seething. Him. Can you hurry up, please? Me. And miss out on these great rewards? As if. I only held him up for about 5 minutes, but woo, child, it felt so good. Why did I read it like that? Woo, child, things are gonna get easier. Anyway, we'll move on. Number 4. So I live next door to a couple, a very conservative couple, and their twin boys. The boys can't be more than 8, and like most kids, they like to play in the backyard, which is totally fine, doesn't bother me at all. They're kids and like to run around. What bothers me, though, is that they love to throw their toys over into my yard. A lot of toys. Action figures, balls, frisbees, rackets, etc. Them throwing them over doesn't even really bother me that much. What bothers me is the parents keep demanding that we throw them back. They don't ask, they don't knock on the door and apologize, they just yell over the fence when they know that we're outside and tell us to give it back. And that bothers me. They also seem to encourage their kids to throw it over to our yard. So after Christmas, I was at the store and saw that they had a ton of Barbie's nail polish, Bratz doll frisbees, and balls on a clearance. I bought 5 of everything I could find that I knew my neighbours would hate seeing their sons play with. Every time an action figure gets thrown over my yard, I will throw a Barbie back with it. Every time a ball gets thrown, a Bratz ball will be returned. I already threw a couple of nail polishes over, and the twins went crazy. They loved it. They've had pink, purple, and green nails all week. It's been 2 days and not a single action figure has crossed my fence. More importantly, not a single rude demand from the parents to return them. The kids are having fun, and I have petty revenge. That was quite good, actually. That's kind of smart in a way, isn't it? I mean, it's a lot of effort. I don't like kids, so I'd probably just deck one. Jesus Christ. It's not the kid's fault. It's fucking hell. Moving on. Oh, this one's a short one. It's called Coffee Shop. People next to me are loud and rude. They just found the perfect name for their new business. I just bought the domain name. Oh my, nice. That is kind of petty. I like that. Number 6. I took the family out to eat at Applebee's. The lot was full and I saw a customer come out to leave, so I waited for him to pull out and take the spot. Guy pulls out and a car full of young girls just pull into my spot. You know the type. Well, I rolled my window down and told them that I was waiting for the spot, and the driver says, "Too bad. Your name wasn't on it." I was livid. Hang on, is this all? It's all young girls that I just did. Very different voice. Let's try that again. Too bad. Your name wasn't on it. I was livid. I was livid, but just waited for another space and went in and ate. Girls were at the bar doing shots, getting wasted. They just drove in. Why? Whatever. Anyway, we enjoyed our meal and paid the waiter. I then asked the waiter if he wanted to make $20. I asked him to go up to the girls 10 minutes after we left and tell them that they got a call from somebody that said that they had keyed their car and that they should have parked somewhere else. I did not key the car. I called him about an hour later to ask how it went. He said that they all went nuts, screaming as shit, and even called the police. Really? There's a bit of bonus. Cops came, apparently, and found no damage to the car, but noticed that the girls were too dry. Girls are too dry to drunk. Fucking hell. Let's try again. The cops came and found no damage to the car, but noticed that the girls were too drunk to drive. Cops left and circled back and watched the car. Girls came out, got in the car, started the car, and the parking lot explodes in blue light. Busted. DUIs and PDs for all. I did not know about the bonus till a week later when I went back for a few beers. The waiter recognized me and told me about the bonus story, laughing the whole time. Another $20 to the waiter. Best $40 I ever spent. As much as I sort of agree with the whole you can't claim a spot. If somebody's fucking waiting and you can see that they're waiting, don't be a dick and just take that spot. You know, come on. It's not hard. Number 7. This happened a while back. Study hall in 8th grade, actually. I always brought 2 small sandwiches to school so that I could have one at lunch and one in study hall, since our teacher let us eat in the class. One day, as I was about to eat my sandwich, I get up to use the bathroom. As I walk back in the classroom, I see the kid in front of me eating my sandwich. What a prick. I was pretty annoyed, but nothing serious at this point, so I confronted him politely and he denies it completely. I left my sandwich on my desk the next day just to make sure it was him. And you know what? It was. So on the third day, I hatched a plan. I put habanero cheese on my sandwich and then doused it all in ghost pepper sauce. That shit was everywhere, but it luckily didn't smell spicy. I get to study hall and my plan works flawlessly. I leave my trap sandwich on my desk and get up to go to the restroom. This time I take as long as I can and I end up wandering the halls of the school. I did this because my study hall teacher was anal about the hall pass, and only one guy was allowed to leave the class at a time, even for water. After about 10 minutes, I came back to the class to be greeted by the sandwich thief, crying hysterically with a bright red face, waiting for the hall pass. He was in the bathroom for the rest of the day. Yeah, fuck you, prick. Don't eat other people's sandwiches, you little shit. Sorry, that triggered me. As somebody that can't handle spicy food, and I know Josh can't either because he's got his special cracked tongue. It's a fisher tongue. That sounds horrible. So I wouldn't eat someone's sandwich if I knew that was the consequence. The next one. My mom was a language teacher at my high school. The class was supposed to write one of those team dialogues in Spanish. Spanish? Fuck me. What the fuck is Spanish? The class was supposed to write one of those team dialogues in Spanish and had a week or so to prepare it, then had to perform it in front of the class. When she called for this group of guys to do theirs, they pretended that they already had, and she'd just forgotten. They refused to do it, insisting it was her fault she didn't take notes or scores down. She went in the next day and said, "Boys, I owe you an apology. I found my notes on your presentation and I do remember it. I don't know how I forgot." She went on to describe all the grammatical mistakes they made, that their dialogue hadn't been as long as required, and that they didn't include the necessary vocabulary, etc. All made up. She failed them all on the project, and they couldn't do a thing about it without admitting they made it all up. That, boys and girls, is what lying gets you. So the next one is, a couple of years ago, I was at the gym and I overheard this guy, we'll call him LT for lying tool. He was warning a girl. He said something to the effect of, "Hey, sorry to bother you, but I just overheard that guy in the red shirt," pointing at my friend who was across the gym, "saying some extremely crass stuff about you in the locker room. It was really sexual and graphic, basically talking about ripping off your purple spandex and violating you in front of everyone. I couldn't just listen and not tell you because you deserve to know what certain people are really like." Listening to this, I was furious. This guy had obviously seen my friend and the girl talking in the gym. She approached him, by the way, and gotten jealous because he wanted to get with her. So he made up this lie to throw him under the bus. I thought it was a lie because, one, I was just in the locker room and nothing of the sort was said, and two, the dude he was lying about was actually a really nice, respectful guy. So he finished up his tall tale, and before the girl could respond, I scoffed really loudly and said, "She knows you're lying just to try and get in her pants. That guy would never say those kinds of things because she's his sister, you moron." The look on the tool's face was priceless. He went pale and stammered something about how he must have gotten the guy mixed up. But the girl, who had caught on and was playing along, pointed out how he had been very clear about pointing her brother out. So LT shifted his story again and said that he must have gotten the girl he was talking about mixed up. So I pointed out that she was the only girl wearing purple spandex. He actually looked like he was about to cry. I never saw him at the gym again. I mean, that just seems weird. Like, is that meant to be some kind of chivalry going on there? That's very strange. I mean, if you're going to try and hit on somebody, I mean, I wouldn't take dating advice from me, Christ. But yeah, if you're going to try and hit on somebody, don't throw anyone else under the bus to make yourself look better. Jesus Christ. Fucking tosspot. Okay, well, we'll do one more, I think, because you've not heard, but the amount of times I have struggled reading some of these, I've had enough. So we'll do this one and then we'll end. So it might be a bit of a shorter episode today, but not to worry, because we will be back with reverse words next week, and then some other things. So yeah, this one here is I was just walking back to my car from class and had to cross the professor's parking lot to get to the student lot. I came across an older man getting into his car, and I noticed that his large coffee cup was still on the roof of his car. I've done this before and really appreciate when someone tells me that I'm about to drive off with the drink on my roof. So why not pay it forward, right? Hey, mister, I say. But then he cuts me off in the most condescending tone I have ever heard. No, it's doctor. Oh, sorry, doctor. Never mind. So I just stood there and watched as Dr. Arsehole throws his Camry in reverse, spilling his full cup of coffee all over his windshield and window. Dr. Snarky flashes me a look that could only be a look of remorse mixed with anger. He probably realised that I was trying to help, but he was pissed that I decided not to. He didn't even get out of the car. He just sped off. Seriously, those kinds of people are literally the worst. Like, they think they're above everyone else, and you're like, well, fuck you then. What is the point? You're trying to help, and you're just being a cunt. So I say, good for you. So I think we'll leave it there. As I said, I've been struggling to read. It's been quite frustrating. So we've done about, unedited, we've done about 14. So I don't know how many we've actually done or how many I've cut, but the ones that I've read haven't been too bad. So yeah, try again. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. A bit different. I don't think we've actually covered anything like this before, but if you liked it, let us know. Go over to the Instagram and send us a DM and let us know. Or, even better, go over to the Reddit and let us know there, because that'd be cool. So join us again next time when we'll be doing something else. Not sure what yet. Well, actually, I did say, didn't I? Reverse words. The continuity on this podcast is amazing. Anyway, catch you in a bit, guys. See you later. Bye.